With your CIGTV News Update, I'm Donna Bush. Thanks for joining us. The Department of Planning observed World Town Planning Day on Thursday in the lobby of the Government Administration Building. Now, the day celebrated how we shape our communities, and the department hosted an information booth to commemorate the day. Recognized around the world, the purpose was to bring planning professionals and members of the community together to celebrate how we all help to shape our world and communities, making it a place the public wants to live, work, and play. Now, the idea for the information booth was to help new developers or individuals in preparing to carry out new planning projects. Earlier this week, we shared news on the process of the school's inspections in the Cayman Islands. Well, today we hear from those responsible for carrying out the inspections and what makes the Cayman Islands Schools Inspections Framework a unique one.
It's not a framework you'd find anywhere else. It's been developed primarily and uniquely for the schools on Cayman Islands. We started the process back in November 2017. It's been a long process because it's involved a lot of consultation with parents through the PTAs of different schools, through professionals, through teachers and principals of government schools. With district meetings, we were able to get the views of various members of the community to advise the process of the development of the framework. So it was issued last summer, prior to the school holidays. And an important element of the framework has been looking at what's best practice internationally. What are we aspiring to in our schools, and what direction do we need to offer to schools to help them to become even better than they are? So the framework is aspirational in that sense. We use 4 standards: excellent, good, satisfactory, and weak, and we provide a clear indication of what constitutes excellence in teaching, what constitutes excellence in the curriculum, etc. But what's also important is, although we aspire to be internationally excellent in our educational provision in the public schools and private schools, we want the children in Cayman schools to be aware of life on Cayman, the heritage, the culture, the distinctive nature of our community and what's special about Cayman. So there's an important element of the framework which looks at the students' understanding of the environment in which they live, environmental issues, as I say, the history, traditions, and the importance of the Christian religion within this community. So the framework aspires to be the best in the world, but it also is unique to our current circumstances. And in that way, by being very explicit about where we want to be, we hope that educators will be able to look at the framework and see where they need to move step by step in the pathway to success.
And join us next Wednesday when we hear more from the Office of Education Standards. Also making our headlines this Friday, as we reported recently, the new director for the Department of Children and Family Services, Mrs. Palinda Mendoza-Williams, is taking over the reins in just a few days. Our CIGTV camera crew had the chance to interview the new DCF director, and we discussed some ways in which the public can assist the department.
The Cayman kind spirit really comes out during this time of year. And I encourage persons, however you can assist those less fortunate in the community, even if it's not through DCFS. I do encourage you to, brighten somebody's day. And it's not always that persons can give financially or goods, but we do have conversations about persons who are willing to volunteer in our various programs. Again, we have to do a thorough background check, because we can't just accept any and everybody, again, because of the clients that we serve. But we are always open for that private-public partnership for persons organizations, individuals who want to come in and just, have a chat with us to find out how they can help us.
Mrs. Mendoza-Williams says she's extremely humbled and excited to be given this opportunity to take up the role of director, as a significant amount of her career and professional development has been focused on serving her community effectively. Along with the hardworking DCF staff, she says she will continue developing and enhancing the work of the department by ensuring legislation, best practice, and policies are employed to promote positive social change. And you can watch our entire interview with the new DCF Director right here on CIGTV on a date to be announced soon. Well, as the invasive green iguana culling project started recently on Grand Cayman, the Department of Environment is also busy working to prevent the same problem on the sister islands. The DOE is urging Kim and Brack and Little Cayman residents to act fast to help head off a green iguana influx on the sister islands before it becomes too big a problem.
That's a very serious concern. On Little Cayman, the green iguanas have started breeding. They're very small numbers, and we have an aggressive program there involving the community and a DOV intern who's keeping it coordinated and putting a lot of effort into it. The situation is such that if we sent a team over there to Little Cayman to try and get rid of the iguanas, the chances are we'd spend a week there and not see a single one. But the community that are living in Little Cayman are the ones that are going to spot the rare green iguana when it happens to cross the road. So there's a hotline they can call, and then our intern will respond, and the community group that assist her will respond, and they'll go and they'll see if they can find that iguana and noose it and put it down. We've got a very similar operation going on the Brack, but the Brack's a bigger problem. We have probably a few hundred iguanas on Cayman Brack now, green iguanas. And they're very focused in certain areas, in Spot Bay, in parts of the West End, around the port. They could very quickly and easily spread over all the Brack, and they could have the same problem on the Brack that we're dealing with here on Grand Cayman. But right now, it sort of looks like we're managing to hold the tide. There's a team from DOV here that go over about 4 times a year, and we do night searches in the hotspot areas, and we involve the community on the Brack, and we involve a number of people on the Brack who have air rifle licenses. And so the idea is you shine a flashlight in the trees at night, and the green iguanas are very visible that way. And if it's low enough, you can noose it. If it's too high, you can take a shot with an air rifle if it's safe. So for instance, in the last week, we've had a team over there, and we actually got four more iguanas, and we know that there are 2 more up on the bluff that we haven't been able to get yet. So it's like individual iguanas we're talking about there, and it needs this constant effort. But just like Little Cayman, we have a hotline there. The community can report to the hotline. The hotline then mobilizes local resources and for a quick response, and that's been effective. We've had, without any involvement from Grand Cayman, we've had iguanas spotted and taken out on the Brack and on Little Cayman, just because we've got that hotline running and people are making the calls quickly.
The DOE also reported back in September of 2016 that green iguanas were actually interbreeding with rock iguanas on Little Cayman, an occurrence that scientists had previously thought impossible. For more on the story, you can go online to doe.ky. Finally, a reminder to go online to gis.gov.ky if you'd like to take a look at what programs are on CIGTV this week. Just click on the publications link at the bottom of the homepage. And if you missed our broadcast here on CIGTV, you can still catch it on the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page as well as the CIG Television YouTube channel. For now, I'm Donna Bush, as always, thanking you for watching. Remember to go online to piratesweekfestival.com for details on all the events taking place for the annual series of events this weekend. Until next week, have a great holiday weekend, be safe, and bye-bye for now.
The Esterly-Tibbetts Highway 3-lane roundabout is ready for drivers. It's time to make sure you know how to use it. First, know which exit you need to take. Pay attention to lane arrows and signs. Make sure you use your signal to change lanes or exit the roundabout. To turn left, you always approach in the left-hand lane and indicate left. To drive straight ahead, you need to be looking out for signs and road markings indicating which lane to use. Get in one of the lanes marked with a straight-through arrow. If turning right, you must use the right-hand lane and indicate accordingly. To use the roundabout safely, remember these 3 tips. Know your exit, pick your lane, and signal to make your turn.